Welcome to M&G Agency Live, your go-to podcast for creativity, insights, and now a spotlight on the amazing businesses we work with.
This series is all about celebrating the people behind the brands, diving into their stories, achievements, and what makes them tick.
From the inspiring journeys to future plans, we'll be shining a light on the local businesses driving our community.
So, whether you're here for marketing tips, entrepreneurial insights, or just curious about what goes on in the world of business, you're in the right place.
Shall we get into it then?
Oh, heck yes. Welcome back to M&G Agency Live Meet the Client, where we shine a light on some of the inspiring businesses and individuals that we work with here at M&G. Last time round, we spoke to Robin Parkinson from Evolve IMS about growth, innovation and leadership.
We did indeed. And today we are stepping, or maybe I should say running, jumping and lunging into fitness with Rebel PT. Joining us are Tom and Alice, who've built not just a fitness brand, but a movement of rebels. They've created something truly unique that goes far beyond boot camps. Tom, Alice, welcome to the podcast.
I love it. What an introduction.
I know. Thank you, guys.
Thank you. Yeah, great to be here.
How are you both?
Excited to be here. A little bit out of our comfort zone, but
You came straight from boot camp, haven't you?
Yeah. I was in the park this morning with the Prams gang. So
that's Prams, that's, I guess, mums and Prams are all at the side. The kids aren't working out as well, are they?
Well, some of them are doing their jumping jacks and doing their push-ups. So it's always...
It's kind of like herding toddlers normally. So you do what you can, you manage the toddlers, and the babies are actually the quietest part sometimes.
Sounds like a riot. And Tom, have you been boot camping?
Oh, no, relaxed morning for me. That was it. I was just doing the behind-the-scenes stuff, the work and the admin.
The important bits.
Making Instagram breakfast.
That's it.
Oh, yeah. All the important stuff. Look, I was delighted when you guys approached us and asked Burns & Gull to support you with your brand refresh, a bit of a brand evolution. I've admired your brand for ages because I think what you guys have created is just super cool. How's the new brand gone down with your members, with the Rebels?
Oh, it's been a real hit. We absolutely love it. And it was something I don't think we realised we needed until we did it, and we were like, wow, like that.
I mean, we'd just been working off the same logo from 12 years ago that we'd created on like clip art or whatever it was, where you're free. So it's nice to kind of talk to someone who kind of got it, understood, and could kind of help us put it on paper a little bit more.
Love it. And you're being brand compliant, apart from Tom, who's wearing the old logo today.
I was looking at that there thinking,
no,
that doesn't look the same.
We got here, all my stuff's in the washing machine. This is the downside to doing fitness all the time. Your clothes are constantly being washed. So.
But that's not the only thing. When Tom's creating some of the Instagram pictures, I have to take him back to the brand guidelines.
Oh, it's there for you guys to follow. And hopefully it is easy. Look, we're not here to talk about the work we've done. We're here to talk about you today.
Let's kick off with a Rebel elevator pitch. For those who don't know you, who is Rebel PT? What do you do? And what makes it so special?
Big question to start off with.
I know.
Huge question. And also one that we struggle to answer because everyone looks at us from the outside and they're like, oh, you run boot camps. You're an outdoor boot camp company. And that's only a fraction of what we do.
Yeah.
So when we try and tell everyone what it's about, it's that feeling. I don't know if you remember when you were younger and your parents were like, oh, your friend can come and play. And you know what? They walked through the door, they came in, and you were just so excited to see them.
Yeah.
You jump on the bike, power down the road, just feel independent and, outdoors and free.
Yeah.
That's essentially what we're trying to create at Rebel PT, create that kind of youthful enthusiasm again that, maybe life gets in the way of a little bit.
And how do you go about doing that? Talk us through some of the activities that you can expect when you sign up to Rebel PT. What's the essence of what you guys do?
So we do outdoor boot camps in Aberdeen and Shire. We also run events. We're just trying to get people to move more, build their confidence. We do hikes, cycles, dukes, run clubs, social runs. And we just want to get people maybe a little bit out their comfort zone, but excited about life again, and in like a nice, healthy way that builds a really great, healthy lifestyle.
Yeah, and I think you guys, because I know a little bit about Rebel PT, I've watched you guys for a while, and what I love is the culture, which we'll talk about later, but when you come to a Rebel boot camp, you're not being shouted at drill sergeant style, are you? It's more of a friendly kind of vibe.
I get shouted at more than I shout out, to be honest. I get the abuse given to me, so yeah, it's all supportive and encouraging, and we just want to see people do well. It's just a chance to hang out with your friends. And, the bond's built by doing the hard work in the park. So you put yourselves through something together and, that kind of helps build friendships and community and that sort of thing there.
So going back to the start then, how did the idea for Rebel PT come about? How did it all start? What happened?
Oh, this was 12 years ago. I was working in London as an estate agent.
Oh.
And
I can imagine you in a suit and tie.
Sorry, working as a estate agent, the worst estate agent. I was absolutely terrible. I just enjoyed the London lifestyle, but it was like 12-hour days, 6 days a week.
So not for you.
Not for me. And I realized there was more to life than kind of just doing this over and over. And I was like, okay, what's a good alternative? And I loved being outdoors. I loved fitness. And I was like, you know what? I think there's something there to change the way people think about fitness. I'd really like to build an outdoor boot camp. And it was just an excuse for me to hang out with friends doing the things I love. So if I wanted to find friends to go hiking with, I could, call on some of the rebels. Or if I wanted friends to play football with, I could get a group together. So I packed in the London job straight away and just did a personal trainer course. And about 6 months later, I'm kind of standing in Westburn Park by myself thinking, okay, right, now I've started a boot camp. How do I actually get people to go?
Yeah, okay.
And I can imagine starting a business at the start obviously wasn't very easy. What were some of the challenges that you faced when you were first starting out?
Just getting people to come down. How do I let people know that I'm here in Westburn Park? And the original way of doing that for me, or one of them, was using Gumtree.
Oh,
so I just put little adverts. It was a real throwback, isn't it? And also there's all sorts of things advertised on Gumtree. I don't think meeting someone or a random person in the park to start running around and exercising was one of them, to be honest.
I mean, there's worse things that happen in the parks.
Exactly. And then someone was like, oh, Tom, I was a bit curious because you just send your bank details for me to transfer money to this random person and I've got to meet them in the park in the evening. And I was like, I wasn't really sure what was happening. So that was, we got our first few people through Gumtree. We also tried an approach where I thought, you see runners going around all the time.
Yeah.
And I was like, right, how do I get some of these runners along to boot camp, which is going to be more fun?
Yeah.
It's like, you don't want to carry a flyer when you're running.
Yeah.
I was like, what would be a good alternative? A stamp? Like, when you go into a club, you get a little stamp.
Right.
So in theory, I was like, this is such a good idea. I was like, I'll ask them, see if I can stamp their hand just with the Rebel PT details and they can keep on running. The only issue was, one, no one wanted to stop. It's a bit awkward stopping that runner in the middle of the run. And then two, being like, oh, can I stamp your hand? And they were like, absolutely not. Often I wouldn't be like, the members who were there would say, okay, Tom, you're not allowed to start boot camp until you've tagged at least 3 people.
I was going to say, I remember being at a class before you started and we were like, no, Tom, we're not doing the warm-up until you've stamped 3 people. And we watched you walk up to
really
2,
put yourself out your comfort zone.
2 runners, and they said no. They were like, no, we don't want to be stamped.
So much rejection.
It sounds like these early days were a lot of fun. Are there any other kind of standout memories? You mentioned that you were pretty much the only one at some of these early boot camps.
So I'd be standing there in the park hoping someone turned up and no one would. And then you dejectedly pick up your bag and kind of walk off. But so many memories from the early days.
But like even the fact that one day you literally just decided to set up boot camp, so stuck a flag in the ground and like you just waited for people to come to you and you had no idea if people were going to turn up or what kind of people.
Yeah, we also had our first taste of virality. We went viral back in the early days
before
of going viral. But I know it sounded a bit weird. But so there was a session where it was just all weathers, rain, snow, wind, and it'd been chucking it down, torrential rain. I think that little stream that goes through Westburn had burst. And I thought, right, how can I make this session more fun? And we went to the shops and we bought a whole load of inflatables.
Love
the inflatable like crocodiles.
Amazing.
Yeah, killer whales, turtles. And then one of our members decided to go in the top of the stream just on one of the inflatable crocodiles and just started to ride it down.
That
and we took a video.
Park, wasn't it? Yeah.
And it was honestly, I'd say viral now, but I think it was 25,000 people watched it.
Wow.
Oh, incredible.
Yeah.
So from going from these early days to like, will anyone turn up at my boot camp, to how many members have you now got?
Like about 300, is it? About 300 across Aberdeen and Edinburgh.
That's so
Yeah.
good.
So we should point out as well that Tom and Alice are actually brother and sister.
Yeah, not married.
I'm glad you pointed that out.
Yeah, we should mention that. And, I wanted to ask, growing up, what was it like for you two and how have you found How have you found working together? Be honest. Are there any arguments? Who's the most stubborn? You guys are both competitive. What's it like?
Yeah. Well, so Tom is my elder brother. People often think I'm the oldest, but I take that because I'm more mature, not because of how I look.
Right, okay.
But so like growing up, we loved the outdoors. We lived in the countryside. Tom was a complete wind-up merchant. I never thought that I would end up working with him, to be honest. So typical big brother, a little bit of bullying, a little bit of wrestling, that kind of thing. But I saw him when he started up Rebel, and I thought, that looks like so much fun. I want to be part of it.
You want a piece of that?
Yeah. I actually didn't join until about 2 or 3 years after it had been running. But we have a lot of fun with it. Like, obviously, there's arguments.
Yeah.
We once played table tennis for 5% of the business because it's split 50-50, but we were like, let me tell you, we played for an hour and we played as many games as we could in an hour, up to 21. I was 7 games up to 5, 10 minutes to go, and he came back and he beat me 8 games to 7.
Yeah, I know.
So
I was just leaving there. I knew what was going to happen at the end. It was fine. I was just leaving it for the last 10 minutes to go.
There's no letting your sister win or anything like that.
No, none of that.
No.
We complement each other quite well, though, because we do have slightly, like, we're both outgoing, we're both energetic, but we both kind of have slightly different personalities, which kind of help us work well together. Alice is certainly a little bit more sensible and organised than I am. I'm a little more free-spirited and kind of wing it.
You need that.
You need a bit of both, So when Alice is sitting down being like, right, we need to plan this. And I'm like, no, it'll be fine. We meet in the middle somewhere and that works quite well.
I like a bit of structure. Tom, no, he likes to wing it. So,
good combination then.
Yeah,
for
I
sure.
can see that working.
So as kids, were you always quite sporty, active? You're obviously from the countryside.
Yeah, I think we grew up where if we were bored, our parents were like, go outside, like go climb trees. Yeah, climb trees, play football, play in the garden, that sort of thing. So it was just naturally part of our lifestyle growing up. I played a bit of football, a bit of tennis, a bit of everything, just kind of dabbled in all sports.
My memory as a kid, though, was that Sunday walks, like mum and dad would drag us on. We'd go up Scolty Hill every Sunday and we hated it at the time. But
you guys take boot camps up Scolty Hill, don't you?
No, we'd encourage other people to come up and, lunge up it and run up it with us. And I was like, God, we've come full circle. As a kid, you don't realise these things probably creating a bit of an impression on you at the time. And then, 30 years later, you're doing the same thing with everyone else.
For fun.
Yeah.
Love that. Brilliant. Let's talk a little bit about the culture. We touched on this earlier. Now, I've been to events such as Run Balmoral, the Bankery Beast Race, and the Rebel presence is just massive. You just see a complete sea of colour whenever the Rebel's there. How does it feel for you guys when you just step back and you look at the community and the camaraderie that you guys have created?
I think we're really lucky. Like, first of all, the events that are going on in Aberdeen and the races, the runs, there's so much on our doorstep to get involved in some absolutely stunning locations. So we love seeing as many people get stuck in to these as possible. And the beauty of Rebels is it kind of becomes like everyone wants to say yes to things. So you're like, all right, shall we come out and do this race? So everyone, they might not have done it before, they might not have run a 5K or a 10K before, but they're like, oh, you know what, we'll give it a go. So there's always this kind of apprehension before you start one of these events where everyone's a little excited, great to be there as a team. We're normally rocked up in Rebel colours. We have a different colour for each year. So this year it's neon yellow.
I love the yellow. Seeing your
out.
new brand against that yellow is so cool.
Phenomenal. So when you see the Rebels take off, it's just ace to see them around the course. And you get cheered on the whole way because, you're constantly recognising someone.
And I think I should probably step back a little bit. Your members call themselves the Rebels, which I think is brilliant because this is your tribe. You've created followers. I've been out and about so my wife, Hannah, is a Rebel.
Yep.
And I remember when we first got together, I'd be like, how do you know that person? And she'd say, oh, they're a Rebel. Oh, and we'd pass someone in the street. Oh, I know that person. He's a Rebel.
Cool.
And it's just great that you have that. So again, you've cultivated something that is truly unique. What do you think makes it so unique? Why do people want to be a part of this?
Well, I think it's the members themselves as well that really make it. So they bring the passion and the enthusiasm, and it's just become a thing, hasn't it?
They'll come to us with ideas. They'll be like, oh, right, I really want to try this hike, but stay in a bothy and then maybe run back and then we'll go to the pub. And we're like, yes.
You got me a
Good
pub.
idea.
Yeah, you're like,
Yeah.
yes. Someone will be like, oh, can we go supping along like the coast towards Donata? Yes. And like, they come to us with all these ideas, which are just like really exciting. And I think that's what helps.
And I guess because it's such a big, varied group of like-minded individuals, everyone is just passionate about being outside or passionate about encouraging one another to live a healthy lifestyle. So it's somehow just gelled and they've all become the rebels. And it's just a really nice supportive network where, if you want to go supboarding down the River Dee, you just pop it in the Facebook group and you hopefully there's someone who wants to go with you. Or like working out in the parks and things. And there's something about working out with other people where you're both encouraging, you're all encouraging each other, you're all pushing each other, that like by the end of a session, you've been
through it together. You've gone through this journey together, and that just kind of builds a bond between you, and it's kind of just grown from there.
Yeah, and it is a bond, isn't it? Yeah.
And that bond means that you're all rebels. So what does that mean to you and your members to be a rebel?
Well, I don't think we recognise it for what it fully is.
Yeah.
I still think back to standing in the park in Westbourne by myself, and it's hard to notice the effect that you've had or the fact that everyone's had on people's lives, from marriages and babies and first-time achievements, whether it's running an ultramarathon or so. It's just mind-blowing, and it's great to see what you can achieve as part of a group and kind of the movement that you create. And we're just always looking forward to what's next and, what's the next exciting opportunity that we can get stuck in with.
And that's why I see it is a movement, because it's far more than just those boot camps. Those boot camps are great. That's where people sign up, they get fit. But it's the friendships, it's all the other things that happen outside the boot camps that are really incredible.
And this is why the elevator pitch is so hard. Someone looks at it like, oh yeah, but you're a boot camp. You're like a gym class, you're a fitness class. And I'm like, we are, but like, there's so much more to it than that. So to try and explain it, it's really hard. Unless you come down and unless you get stuck in, it's really hard to kind of pinpoint that. And it's great for helping people remove those barriers of entry to fitness, because no one wants to be the slowest, the oldest, or, the least fit. And if we can help you settle in as quickly as possible, it's amazing watching people's confidence grow and that they just want more of that sort of lifestyle. And I think the more that they get, the more they give back to it as well. Yeah. And I think that's the other exciting side of Rebel.
So I guess your members are obviously so important to your organisation. So have your members done anything that inspires you, or can you share any stories that you've heard?
There must be some incredible stories out there.
I mean, the prams in the park community inspire me so much, but I was a trainer for the prams gang before I had my daughter.
Okay.
So I thought I understood like what it was like having kids, because I saw these mums come, they were tired, they were exhausted, but they got stuck in. They went running together. They built their own run club at Rebel. They were pushing buggies, working out in the mud, working out in all weathers. Yeah. And I was like, oh, like these guys are amazing. I can see that it's hard. But actually, until I became a mum myself, I didn't realize how hard it was. Yeah. And how, like, I was so inspired from these mums that had previously been Prams in the Park members, because they made it a priority for themselves to get out and to exercise and to get the fresh air and to meet other mums to do that with, and to then have the coffee with afterwards and things. And after I had Evie, my 2-year-old, it made me want to get up and go out and do exercise from knowing that those guys had. So that's definitely like a huge inspiration for me.
And how has that changed for you, Alice, of being a new mum and still being able to get up and do all this stuff? How have you found that? And is Tom a good uncle?
Tom is a wonderful
Does he babysit very often?
He has not babysat yet.
I've offered. I like to say that's it. I put it out there. Yeah.
No, he's a wonderful uncle. I have to say, I found it a complete roller coaster of running a business and having a baby. But it's definitely, I've learned a lot. I'm starting to find it maybe slightly more easier. And like I say, I actually think it's made me a better trainer for the Prams in the Park community, because I can relate a lot more. And yeah, I think it's definitely grown me for Rebel.
So I guess on that note as well, not that we're going to do a massive plug for Rebel, we totally are. If there is someone who's listening and they are perhaps a new mum, they can still work out. They can join Prams in the Park. You guys have quite a few of these clubs, don't you?
Yeah, absolutely. We're in Duthie Park in Hazelhead. People always ask, what happens if my baby cries? We're like, what do you mean if? Like, your baby's going to cry, that's okay. You just come down, you do what you can. We all rally together. There's a load of mums who have had sleepless nights, who have teething babies and all sorts, but it's just a really nice community where we just push each other and we all rally and we all help the mums who have crying babies. Yeah, so
sometimes the win's just getting there. You know, like you might just want to get to the part. We've had some mums turn up 45, 50 minutes into the session because that's just how their morning's worked out. And they just come for the coffee. And you know what? That's a win in itself.
Everyone understands.
That's that whole rebel culture piece again, isn't it? So you guys have got heaps of different spin-off activities, like the Rebel Run Clubs you mentioned. There's the epic ski trips that you guys have, Saltar 24, and let's not forget all the social events. How did these enhance the whole Rebel experience?
We say you have to get stuck in to really embrace being a rebel. So it just makes you more a part of the community. You make memories together, like lifelong memories that you'll look back at one day and you'll be like, that was so cool, like climbing mountains or these running crazy routes and things.
Yeah, the hill runs. We did a Loch Mick one at the start of the year, which kind of you got a group walking around Loch Mick, a group running. Wow. You run up to the waterfall. You know, you take some pictures. You run back down. And it's just a nice way to start the year. I saw the photos of that. It looks incredible. And I've been on a Rebel Loch Mick run.
Yes, you have. A few years back when I was fitter. And it was brilliant because even that, it was a day out, wasn't it? It was like a lot of fun. I think there was some food afterwards and stuff like that.
Always food.
I wasn't even a rebel. Yeah. I think I gate crashed that, didn't I?
Well, we always say, like, especially these events at the weekends, you know, bring your family, bring friends, get people outdoors. That's what we want to do.
And the ski trip's an epic one. Chamonix this year is the plan. It's like we're taking a bit of a year off organising it because it's a lot. We take 30 odd rebels out to normally the Alps, and that's where the relationships are made. That's where the marriages happen.
I can imagine the rebels go hard when it comes to après ski.
Oh, we love the après.
Yeah.
Big days, big nights.
Yeah.
Love it.
So we've spoken a lot about your members and how they're important to the culture. Rebel PT has such a distinctive brand. What are the core values that drive your business?
You're both looking at each other awkwardly here. Come on, you surely have these values written down.
This is the one we practice.
To be fair, no, like the number one is creating adventures is such a big part of it. Because
excellent, I love that.
That's stepping outside your comfort zone. That's pushing yourself a little bit. That's the bit that you remember when you're 80 years old and sitting in the rocking chair. It's not, I once had massive biceps or I once had a six-pack. It's the cool things you did with cool people. So like, first and foremost is like, you know, get out, create adventures, let's do it together, which leads into the next one then, which is the community, which we've touched upon a lot. Yeah. You know, like if you can be a part of that community and support everyone else to have those same adventures you're having and help, that's what kind of creates the magic and the spark. So they're kind of the two main core values, I think. And we just follow that up with just be awesome, you know, like be yourself, settle in. Yeah.
What a great value for a company.
Just settle in and, you know, like give what you can give when you can give it and then just join in for the ride.
And on the note of settling in, I guess you've probably do you get a bit of an influx at New Year? We're kind of past that. Some of these resolutions are probably fading.
Well, this year we did not get the influx because of the snow.
Oh,
so,
yes.
Well, I'll say we did have an influx of people signed up to
This is what happens every year, right? So it gets to 1st of January and everyone's like, new year, new me. I'm gonna apply to join this boot camp. Well, I'll go to next week's class. And they look outside and they're like, oh, it's still a bit cold. Oh, actually not sure about the weather.
Dark.
Yeah. So you got all your keyboard warriors at home thinking that's for me. And then when it comes to it, they're like, oh no, I'll hold off. So actually, our influx, we do, if you join in January, I call you a lifer because chances are you're going to hang around for a while.
Yeah.
Otherwise, the next kind of influx comes like March time, really.
Yeah.
Summer,
because that's when the clocks change. That's when it gets a little bit warmer. It's lighter in the evenings.
Yeah.
And everyone's ready to give it a go then.
So, new members, what do you do to make them feel welcome and make them feel part of that rebel tribe from day one? What would you say to someone who's thinking about joining, maybe a bit nervous?
Well, just come down. We'll obviously introduce ourselves and we rally the troops, let them know there's someone new, and encourage them, introduce themselves to everyone.
Everything you do is at your own pace as well. So, you know, you come in, we're not going to have you sprinting laps of the park. So unless that's what you want, you know, but like most people, like Alice said, are a little bit nervous or worried about coming down. So if we can help you settle in that little quicker, you're going to find that you build momentum a little quicker as well. And that's what we focus on, is how can we make it as easy for you to settle in as possible without worrying about all the other things.
Yeah.
And we'll say, don't go big in the warm-up, because that's the biggest mistake a new person makes.
Yeah.
They're like, actually, I'm all right at this. And then 20 minutes into the main workout, they're sitting out. Like
And I assume that you're always growing and new members are always welcome, right?
Oh, always. Yeah, we love to see new faces down to the classes.
Cool.
Yeah, so talk us through some of the quirky traditions that you have at Rebel PT. Birthdays, I'm being told, are quite fun potentially.
Fun for us. Maybe not fun for the birthday.
no.
I love that people choose to spend their birthday at a Rebel session. And in a way, you get rewarded for that by doing our birthday burpees. So
Birthday burpees.
Oh, I can't think of anything worse.
well, that's it. So at the end of a session, we'll all stand in a circle. We'll put you in the middle, so all attention is on you. And we sing happy birthday while you do
We
burpees.
want to see good form burpees on your
course,
birthday.
yeah.
How many are we talking?
I know, how long does it take?
It used to be age, but that,
Oh my goodness.
Burpee
Can you
your
imagine?
age.
well, yeah, it
I'm
was
47.
I was going to say, you've been doing it for
I'll be
ages.
there forever.
So we quickly changed that to just a rendition of Happy Birthday.
Okay.
Quick rendition, I hope.
If we like you, we'll sing it quick. Otherwise, we're dragging that
Sing it
song
really
out. You've never
slowly.
heard it. It sounds like a funeral
Yeah, it
march
does.
sometimes, the way we sing it.
Well, I love it. Look, it all sounds so much fun. What is next for Rebel PT? Are there any exciting plans for the rest of this year? Tell us about Saltire.
Oh, so it's actually going to be our biggest year at Saltire 24.
Okay.
It's a 24-hour ultra run round Knockburn Loch in Aberdeenshire.
That's just near Bankery.
just-
Knockburn.
yeah.
Great setting.
Oh, it's stunning. It's so beautiful.
24-hour run.
24-hour run, but you can run solo or you can run in teams 2 to 8, so relay style. We've had a really awesome uptake this year with a few corporate teams, the Rebels getting involved. It's on the solstice weekend, so 21st and 22nd of June, so we get the lightest time of the year to do it. And there's just such a great atmosphere. We created Saltire because we'd been to loads of events where we hadn't felt welcome. We'd felt like we weren't runners or we weren't pushing ourselves hard enough. So we wanted to create an event where people could come down, take it as easy or as hard as they like. And it's just made a really great group of people that come down. Like some of them are running 100 miles.
Talk
in
about
24 hours.
inspirational people.
Oh, yeah.
It blows your mind. We do a little award ceremony at the end, and Alice and I normally they're like crying, trying to hand out. No, it's just because it is so emotional watching these people give everything into this
And
run.
It's great that you'll have some members that, because I presume the winner is whoever does the most laps, the biggest mileage. Is that right? So you'll have people that want to really go for that, but others are just like, I just want to see if I can run for 24 hours doing these laps. And I guess the other Rebels chip in by helping them with their support crew and the food and their calories. And
like last year we had a corporate team of 8 people, and there was a team captain who just really rallied them, and the others, some of them weren't even big runners, but they came down, they did 2 or 3 laps for their team, and that was monumental for them. Like that was such a huge achievement, and it was just so nice seeing some people who'd never done a running event but managed to be part of a 24-hour event and bring something to it and help their team out. And like Tom said,
It's just as
so
much of an
inspiring.
achievement being the support person for that team as it is being the runner, because you have to give so much into it as well.
shall we sign you up, Aimee?
I mean, I feel like I'm quite motivated now.
Yeah,
I'm not a runner, but I could be.
Aimee, team of 4, we'll get you there. We'll, put a little training plan together, get you down to Rebel.
Mearns and Gill, I can see
I know,
a team
well, I was
coming.
just
Oh
looking.
my
We should
goodness.
get a team together.
You've got some runners here.
Well, yeah.
Like that.
You've gone quiet,
try,
Pete.
we
You've gone
try.
quiet.
Well, maybe talk about this off air.
Next segment.
That's probably the biggest thing this year, though. I'm trying to think what else we've got coming up. The new branding, we're still rolling it out, which is quite a big thing. Like, we don't really use our Rebel flags over winter. So I'm excited to get the new merch for that.
I can't wait
this
to
year.
see these.
Oh yeah,
In situ.
Honestly, looks so good. Even we're going bigger with the Prams community. I feel like I can put more energy and effort into that. So we've got some Prams merch coming out.
Run Balmoral. We've got a lot of events happening this year. Balmoral, Beast Race, High Rock. It's 3 of them. I'm sure there'll be more on top of that as well. So
Brilliant. There's so much going on.
Big year.
I guess the fitness industry is always changing. How do you see the fitness industry evolving, and where do you see Rebel PT fitting into that?
this is a difficult one because it has changed. Over the 12 years, it's amazing watching the way people relate to exercise in different ways.
Yeah, also on the boot camp front, like when we first set up, there was loads of different boot camps going on. Now we don't see as many outdoor boot camps, but I think different trends come and go. So we had the Tough Mudder trend, the Total Warrior, the mud obstacle courses people used to love. There was a bit of a MetaFit trend, that came, which was all about like high intensity interval training. Ultra runs.
High Rocks is massive at the moment.
So
as well,
High Rocks,
that's
the thing at the moment. We fit in quite well with all these things because, boot camp, you can do anything at boot camp.
Yeah.
So we can add in a high interval training circuit.
High Rock session,
High Rocks is basically strength training, cardio. That's what we do at boot camp. So it's actually we're so easy to adapt.
We can be flexible with how we change our approach for that. And I think at the moment as well, you're really seeing a big push into community and fitness and lifestyle. And I think a lot of these gyms and High Rocks training sessions and CrossFit gyms are all building small communities around kind of these healthy lifestyles, which is really cool to see. So I think at the moment as well, there's certainly with maybe slightly younger people, emphasis on, grit and determination and hard work and getting stuck in. And it's nice watching those little groups kind of form. Same with the running clubs. You've seen a real push for these running clubs, which is just a great way for, once you leave school and university to meet new people and make new friends as well. And I think quickly people recognizing the sort of healthy lifestyle community is a really good way of doing that. So
yeah, and I think as well, like a lot of younger people are getting into fitness at a younger age now. Like even when you stay at the gym, there's like groups of like really young like guys and girls like going together, which is really good to see because it's just starting that healthy lifestyle rather than just going out and getting drunk with your friends all the time.
Well, that's it, and bring your friends along. I think that's what makes it more exciting because again, like it's just good to have someone there with you to do that. And I think, and it works really well. And there's been a big trend for that, I think, in terms of...
It even starts younger, that with the like junior park run at Duffy Park. It's like a two laps of the park. I think you can go from maybe the age of 3 or something. Wow. And they're running around with parents and things. And I think that's so cool that they're building that healthy lifestyle at such a young age because...
Future rebels in the making.
Rebels. Yeah, exactly.
Right, guys, I'm going to move this along to the next segment of the podcast. This is a segment that Aimee is very fond of.
Love it. It's so good.
Are you ready for this? It is called Inspiration Corner.
I do like this section. I just don't really like that voice. Caveat.
Thank you, Aimee. Thank you. Right, at this point in the podcast, we're going to ask you both to shimmy into the corner. That's it. Shimmy. Tom, you're not actually in the corner. That's better. Now, welcome to Inspiration Corner. This is where we ask our guests to share an inspirational quote or an inspirational anything that's inspired you. So I don't know, how do you want to do this? Do you want to do one each, or have you got one?
I've got one. I know.
Alice is a great one.
This has been my go-to for maybe like 10 years or something.
Okay.
I read it in the book Wild. And there's a sunrise and a sunset every day, and you can be there for it. You can put yourself in the way of beauty. And I think I just love that. But it just reminds you that you're in control of your life. And if you're having a down day, step outside, look at the sky, look at the stars. Like there's so many amazing sights just from your doorstep or looking out the window. So yeah, it's my favorite. I always think of it if I'm having a down day.
Fantastic. Tom, how are you going to top that?
That's a good one. No, mine's, so every year before the ski trip, we normally go to see this ski filmmaker called Warren Miller.
Yes.
Love his films. And he's got a great quote where he says, if you don't do it this year, you'll just be another year older when you do. And I think that works really well because, like, you think about these things and you can put them off and you can put them off and you can put them off, but eventually you'll get there. And it's just like, you may as well start now. Otherwise you will just be another year older when you do.
You know what? There's a rebel that loves a fitness quote. James Cruikshank.
Oh James.
Yeah. Runner, physio.
What would James say now?
He'd probably say, run the day. Don't let the day run you.
Class.
Something like that.
Shout out Physio Run.
Physio Run.
Big shout out if you're listening. Thank you for taking that into Inspiration Corner.
I love that.
Yeah. Okay. Right. We have got something special in store for you, Tom and Alice. We normally we do a little bit of this or that, but we're going to change it up this week. Yeah. We have a very special quiz. You guys are going to go head to head in a little quiz that we call Oh, I'm going to use the effect again. Hold on a sec. How well do you know the rebels? It's a quiz that we've devised with the help of some rebels that we know.
Oh.
And we're going to, kind of put you guys head to head. We'll do Tom first.
Yeah.
We have 5 questions, and then we'll do Alice, and we'll see who's going to win.
I will be
no.
devastated if Tom beats
Now,
me.
we know how competitive you guys are.
As long as I get more than 2.
Tom, you're up first, and your quizmaster is going to be Aimee.
Hello.
Aimee, when you're ready.
Okay, Tom. Question number 1. Which rebel once rode an inflatable alligator along the stream in Westburn Park?
Oh, that's the one and only Joe Clark.
Well done. Tick, tick.
Shout out to Joe.
Yeah.
Question 2. Which rebel is well known for her baking?
Oh, Mary. Mary Nauer.
What's her
100%.
signature dish?
Oh, she bakes everything.
Does she?
Unbelievable. Every year she'll make me a birthday cake
Oh,
as well.
that's nice.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, everyone needs a Mary.
I know.
Yeah.
Can I be friends with Mary? Question number 3. Which rebel is famous for creating rather unique Strava art runs?
Stuart Moore.
Yeah.
He
very
did a
good.
great one over Christmas, I think, with Santa going down a chimney somehow. Unbelievable how he makes them.
his Strava art, and he's got some incredible. He's done a Grinch. He's done pretty
my
much
God.
Batman,
everything.
thousands of followers.
I was going to say, you should see the followers he's got
He's
on
been
Strava.
in the news for
Yeah.
everything.
Yes. I was thinking they were going to be rude or something, but obviously not. Question number 4. Which rebel has been the longest member?
Ali Fadai. I mean, technically it'd be Scott Morris because he was my best friend and I dragged him along from day one. But Ali Fadais was the first guy to come along who came on my, what did I say, advertised on? Gumtree. Yeah, Gumtree adverts.
You know what? The rebel that helped us with this had both of those names
Yeah.
down.
Did they?
Ali Fordyce was the correct answer. Yes.
Ah.
And final question. What is the top rebel night out on the calendar?
That's really difficult because there's 2. Halloween is probably one of the biggest ones, but then
really?
we have the Rebel Quiz, Christmas Quiz, which is a phenomenal
We're going
end
to
to
have
the
to
year.
push you for
Yeah,
one
no,
answer,
one
Tom.
For one answer. Quiz. Let's go with the Rebel Quiz.
Yep, correct. Fair
So,
enough.
Tom, you've got 5 out of
Yeah,
5.
that's a
Ooh,
good-
that was close. There were some
Alice,
difficult
Here we
ones.
go.
You're up next, Alice. Are you ready for this?
I'm ready.
Which rebel loves dressing up in costumes the most for workouts and events? Who would you say?
That what, like fancy dress?
Fancy dress.
I think I've got a
Wild
name.
costumes.
Oh no, don't show off.
Yeah, I know. So this is it.
Connie
This is-
Milne.
Not the name
It's
I've
not
got.
Connie Milne.
Is
She's a phenomenal costume maker.
Must be Elizabeth Perry.
Well, that's going to be my
we
next.
have got Elizabeth Perry.
Can I say Elizabeth Perry?
Yeah,
My final answer.
Let's go redo that.
Well,
Yeah.
I would just like to say a lot of the time Connie makes Elizabeth's costumes.
This next question is a tricky one. It's got 2 answers to it. You're going to get half a point for each, okay? Which male and female rebels are the fastest on the Duthie Park Pond Sprint west to east Strava segment?
Can I just say these questions are much harder? Okay,
your
no,
rebels.
sorry. So from Easter, I mean Scott Adams, is he up there? No, fastest rebel.
I think you know him quite well.
I was gonna,
What?
Rashid?
Rashid Scott Bull. It's not Steve Taylor.
That's the name I've got.
Steve
No,
Taylor.
it's not. He's fixed this.
He's also
Steve's come up with
he's
this.
5th on the overall Strava chart. And female, any idea? She also has the crown, I can tell you.
Oh my goodness.
Rhymes with Sam. Rhymes with Sam Watson.
It's not Sam Watson,
It
is
is
it?
Sam Watson, yeah. She also has the crown. Well done.
Sam Watson. Okay.
Right, moving on. Which rebel was the unbeaten champion double player on the rebel ski trips, Alice?
I refuse to answer.
This gets competitive. I know.
Who was it?
It was Hannah.
Hannah McIntosh.
I remember.
Also my wife. I believe there was arguments and there was a lot of competition on this ski trip.
Ski trip double. Phenomenal game, but
Yeah.
competitive.
It should have been me. If I remember, Pete, you were actually helping Hannah, and no one should have been helping. So
I was.
it's a sensitive
Was I
subject.
even there? Right, anyway, moving on. Question number 4. What is the phrase that rebels shout at each other to motivate each other during a run?
Run, rebel, run.
That's right, yes. And your final question, Alice. Are you ready?
Let's go.
Which rebel once hosted a Hogmanay party but accidentally endangered the lives of all her guests due to a fireworks display that went horribly wrong?
One of my favourite videos.
Oh, that was me. But I would just like to say, I didn't like the fireworks. So the fireworks were pointed at everyone at the party, not pointed up to the
All
sky.
your guests were pointing out. I was one of them.
Yeah.
I was in the garden at that time.
Yeah,
It was like a war zone.
There's an amazing video because we're all like gently singing Auld Lang Syne, and then boom, first firework goes right into the bonfire, explodes, and there's screams, like there's blood curdling
smoke.
screams as we're all taking
Chaos.
cover. Yeah, and actually, what I do remember is at the end, someone shouts, "Is everyone okay?"
So dramatic.
Yeah.
Everyone was okay, so it was fine,
Yeah.
and we can all laugh about it now. We have a tie-break question because it's 5 each.
Oh, it's 5 each. I did really.
You're going to have to shout your name and then answer the question, right? Here's the tiebreaker. Which rebel attempted to take 5k a day to the next level by running the distance of the number in the date of each day?
I feel like I know this. Yeah, I do remember this.
I joined for Tom. Was it Ali for Dice?
It was.
Yeah, it was. I remember doing some of them with him. That was a good few years ago.
Did he do it?
Ooh,
Tom.
yeah, I think so.
Tom's
yeah,
the winner. Oh,
Tom has won that.
I'm gonna hang my head
great
in shame.
question. I do, by the way, want to give you guys, Mearns and Gale, a shout out in terms of being a small independent company that we are.
Yeah.
We never would have thought that the support from you guys would have been as good as it was. Like,
good.
just we don't picture ourselves on the same radar as some of those bigger companies. So just the support and the work you guys put into helping us rebrand was phenomenal.
Well, look, it was a brand that we were delighted to work with, and the results speak for themselves. So, no, it was an absolute pleasure. That's very kind of you. Thank you very much. We're almost at the end. So, Tom, Alice, I'd like to just thank you both so much for coming on and joining us on the podcast and sharing more about Rebel PT. It's been really good to kind of hear your story and have you here with us.
Yeah. For anyone who's listening and would like to find out more about Rebel PT or even sign up and become a Rebel, what should they do? Where can they find you?
in any of the parks in Aberdeen, for starters, but we're all over Instagram. We've got a website, www.rebelpt.co.uk.
Perfect.
Find out all the details on there, along with upcoming events and our timetables. And yeah, we're pretty active on Facebook as well.
Yeah.
First session's free, so they can come and try it out. We'd love to see you there.
Yeah. Well, there we have it. As always, if you'd like to find out more about anything we have discussed today, you can drop us a line. You can find us on Instagram at Mearns Gill. You can also find Mearns Gill on Facebook, LinkedIn, or online.
You can also hit us up directly from your podcast platform. You can send us a text and we'll be able to answer that. And don't forget to hit subscribe. That way you'll be notified when our next episode drops. So from fitness to well-being, next week we'll be chatting with Mental Health Aberdeen. But that is next time. Thanks for listening. See you then.
Thanks very much.
Bye.
See you later.
Bye.
Bye.